As a lot of you may know, I have been doing this channel for quite a while. I started Double O Studios in 2016. It was actually called Lance 007 back then, but nowadays it's called Double O Studios. And this video is actually something that is brand new. I've never done this before. My friend Josh and I are doing this, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be ranking all of our videos. This is the first episode. This is actually Josh's videos first because he started in 2014 and 2015. But then after that, we're gonna do more of my stuff too. So I just want to let you guys know that this new um, series that we're doing. So yeah, we're going to be putting all these old videos in a tier list. So I hope you guys enjoy. Double O Studios with my friend Darth Momo, aka Josh Palmer, here today. We are doing something completely new. We've never done this in the history of all our channels, and we've been around since like 2014. Well, you've been around since 2014. I've been
I've
doing this
actually
since
been
20.
around since 2012, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay, you're a boomer, obviously, to this. I'm kind of like a zoomer, a little bit, 2016 kind of thing. So,
And fun fact
but
for you, actually, technically 2024 is the 15th anniversary of Jaw Movies itself. Not my Darth Momo YouTube channel, but Jaw Movies, my studio.
well, there you go. Congratulations. So, in honor for that, today we're going to be making a tier list of our earliest videos ever. Now, like I said, Josh has been around for a lot longer. He's been in the game way longer than I have. So these are all his videos. So yeah, we're gonna rank them today and see where all these videos belong.
Oh, and
Josh, you want to?
that's just the start too. Like, so we're gonna kind of break it down in sessions because between the group of us, we've probably made easily a couple hundred videos, somewhere between
Yeah,
1 to 200 videos. Um, so this we're gonna take them down in years. So our first video is gonna be 2014 and 2015, and then we're gonna do 2016, then 2017, and then we're gonna do 18 and 19 combined, and then we're gonna do 20 through 24, and then we're also going to do the Lego stop motion one separately. And then we'll do kind of like, to wrap it up, we'll do kind of like talking about what we think everyone's best videos were, what our favorite ones were. Um and so there's going to be a lot of them, and yeah, this one will
yeah,
be interesting too for you because since it's just 2014 and 2015, this one actually didn't really have anything to do with you, and in fact, I think
yeah,
except for the two Momo videos, I don't think you've seen any of these before.
yeah. I have. I actually just watched all of these for the first time. So actually, we're gonna put that video, those reactions, up here, right now, actually, so that you can see it. All right. Well, here we go. We are officially starting the tier list ranking of all our videos. And we are starting with the very first, the oldest, Josh Palmer's Darth Momo Galaxy War. Let's start. You know what? I'm actually kind of excited for this. That was kind of epic. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see. Play all. I just want to do two for now. I gotta give him that. I gotta give him that. That's really cool. I'll give you props for that. But we're on to the second one, folks. We have made it to the Darth Momo series. Here we go. Story number one. What is going on over there? But yeah, I recorded reactions of myself in a way, kind of getting used to these videos I've never seen before. So it was kind of fun. We started at the very beginning, and now we're gonna go all the way to the end. So this is gonna be like a little series that we're gonna have a lot of content for a while.
And I do want to say too, just to, so like we're doing everyone. It doesn't matter if only a few people were in it, or if it was a massive collaboration, or if it was just one person's video. We're doing John Movie slash Darth Momo, Double O Studios. Then we're gonna do Nuclear Films too, The Web Shark. We're gonna do Digital Reality. Um, the Silent Ninja, Chris Peters. So this is everyone, and I tried as best I could to get these in like in their made release order. I know it's not 100% perfect, but I'm over 90% confident in the release, especially once we get to where they're more sparing. But 2016 and 17 especially were so hard because it's just like it got to the point where we were overlapping a lot too. Like Yackerson would release like a Rotter video, and then um you dropped like Mission Impossible, and then I dropped a My Lego Rebel
Yeah,
Life.
there's a
So we were
lot.
all just over top of each other.
There's a there's a lot of ranking to do. We're gonna have a lot of fun ranking all these. So many videos to rank.
So yeah, I'm excited. This one unfortunately will be a little short, but it works out just to get you guys started too. And then on top of that, like we're introducing all this, so
Exactly.
we'll take up some of the runtime with that. But you ready to start this?
I am. I got my little notebook. I literally sat there and watched all these old, yeah, all these old videos and ranked them. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just excited to do this. Like I've always wanted to do a tier list, and what's funny is we have so much content to actually rank in a tier list too. So it's, yeah, I got what I wanted for sure.
And it's exciting too because like some of these like I'm super familiar with, right? Like the Momo videos, the Batmans, My Lego Rebel Life, like a lot of those I'm very familiar with. But then a lot of my older ones I haven't touched in a long time. And there's actually a lot of yours that I haven't seen, period,
Yeah.
or in a while too. Like some of your later stuff and some of the stuff that I wasn't like straight up involved with, like Gunman, for example, we're working on that now, and I had to actually I've seen them all once before, but I'm so like unfamiliar with them. I had to go back and rewatch them all before I started working on it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. It's gonna be fun because yeah, like you said, you're gonna start to rewatch some of this stuff and even watch some new things. And like I said, this whole list, I haven't seen any of these, maybe
Yeah.
except for Darth Momo. So like was watching a lot of new stuff too. So it's kind of fun. It's gonna be a fun series.
So our first video that we're going to talk about today is actually my
All right.
very first cinematic video. I'd done a few Let's Plays beforehand, and a couple puppet shows, but this is my first cinematic short video. And it's actually the only one that straight up was done in 2014. Everything was 15 and beyond. So this was December 2014, Galaxy War 1 and Enemies Redemption, which actually, fun fact for you, that video 9-year-old Momo's fan film, I used to call that the Galaxy War movie. So when we made this one, we called it Galaxy War 2 because I already called that one Galaxy War 1. Eventually, I quit trying to mesh the two together, and I'm like, these are separate. There's no point in trying to reconcile this. So we renamed it the Galaxy War 1.
The history of
There's
Darth
so much
Momo.
history that I know nobody cares about, but it's fun to
No,
talk
no,
about.
no. Yeah. Hey, but I'll care about it. I think it's funny. I think it's cool.
So think we'll kind of just like talk about our thoughts first, right? And then we'll kind of like
Yeah.
harmonize where we want to put all these on the tier.
Yeah, I basically how I put it was like first we give it a ranking out of 10, talk about it, and then just put it on the tier after we talked about it a little bit.
Okay, so
So
I'll let you go first on all of these since these were all mine. I want to hear your thoughts too before I correct your
okay,
mind.
all right. So Galaxy War 1. All right. So yeah, I gave that one a 3 out of 10.
By the
Yeah.
way, I just want to
So
say too, Galaxy War 1, so some of these videos we're talking about too, they're not available on YouTube. A lot of them are though. Galaxy War 1 is available on Jaw Movies. So there's my little
so
plug. Anyway, continue.
So anyway, no, yeah, this one was really bad. Like it, I know it was like your first one ever, but I mean, I gotta give credit where credit's due, and also take a shot where shot's given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to me, this one was clearly your very first one, and you were very young too. So I mean, it's not surprising that it's a 3 out of 10. Basically, the notes I put was so basically it's Revenge of the Sith but bad. you know um, I said everything in regards to production. I give a 3 for, um, and the effort and length. So basically, I gave it a 3 because for it being your first, like the length was pretty good, and the effort was there. But excuse me, I meant to say the production was not there. So I gave a 3 for the length and the effort, but not the production. That's what I meant to say. Production was bad, like very, very bad. Like you got people, looking at the camera, talking during the shots, like terrible audio quality, terrible video quality, just a direct steal of Revenge of the Sith, by the way. Like cringy as all hell.
This was
So
basically, yeah, I was obsessed with Revenge of the Sith at this time. Obviously that's changed, thank God. But yeah, you were actually kinder than I was. I gave this a 2 out of 10. Um, I actually so like I when we shot this, like I had no idea what Windows Movie Maker was. I had no idea how to work editing software. So like we literally had the radio and the CD soundtrack in the background, and I had to like cue the actors and these are like 10-year-old kids, right? And I wanted them to do like exactly what the fight was in the movie, so they're like waiting for me on cues, and
that's
that's why they're
cringe.
staring at me at the camera. I
That's
do have
so
to say,
bad.
like, I like the premise of it. Like watching the opening crawl, I'm like, okay, like the premise for this is actually kind of cool. Like I like the idea that it's like basically like you've got like this Sith controlled like Star Wars galaxy, but then like it basically starts with all these Sith like turning on each other. Like kind of like that premise.
No,
Um
yeah, I thought that was cool too, but
and I like the pacing of it. Like this is one that like I actually watched and I wasn't except for the changing scene. I wasn't bored at all watching it. Like I actually think like the pacing like it flows.
so I here's the thing. I know we're like saying all these nice things about it, but at the end of the day, like we kind of made an agreement. Like if it's below like what 6 out of 10, it's still in the F
Oh yeah,
tier.
it's awful. Straight up awful. The fighting is bad, the acting's horrible, the directing like this was a directorial failure.
So then Galaxy War One is officially going in F tier,
Yep.
right?
I my wife commented on my notebook. She wrote on there, "What were you thinking as I was watching this?" So yeah, this is just a failure in all regards, in my opinion. 2 out of 10, just because, like you said, we agreed. I think this was actually like it was a funny bad. Like it was a blast to sit and watch with how bad it was.
Yeah, like I didn't hate myself watching it. I didn't want to like turn it off. It was obviously like really cringy and boring a little bit, but I mean, there's a lot worse that we've
Yeah.
made. So like I wasn't yeah, it's an F tier, but it's not like, oh my god, it's so terrible that it belongs below F tier. It's just F tier, you
So
know.
our next one we're going to talk about is Battle for the Fiber One Bar, produced in 2015 and currently available on Jaw Movies. What'd you think of this one?
So so I have to match you on your ranking for Galaxy War. I gave it also a 2 out of 10. Um, yeah, that one was actually awful. Like, it was my notes basically just say so hard to watch and bad. Like that's all I could say because it was just awful. Like it was so cringy. Um, the story was just like boring and just again the production just awful. Like everything about the production, like poor quality, poor audio quality, poor video quality, editing, and then just like the stupid ending with the explosion. Like it was just no, too much, too much. Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 10.
So
Unfortunately,
once again, kinder than I was because I gave it a 1 out of 10. I couldn't stop laughing at how bad and cringeworthy it was to watch. Um,
yeah, no, that was a bad one. Yeah.
this was a case where so I don't know if you remember Breakfast Brawl. That was actually the first video produced by Nuclear Films and Jaw Movies together. But we first shot that in February, and Nick hated it, so he said we weren't going to use it. Also, because Yak still wasn't allowed on YouTube, and he was in it. So I didn't know if we were ever going to remake that video. So I tried to like reuse the concept of Breakfast
Yeah.
Brawl for this, but we didn't have a Pop Tart. So the closest thing we had was a Fiber One bar. And then on top of that too, like I tried to insert prep, which I thought would have been like a cooler addition to Breakfast Brawl. But and Nick actually commented on that. He liked the idea of the prep, but the problem was by the time we finished making all the prep, it was too dark outside to go out and film it, and then we never ended up finishing it. But I'm like, well, I shot all this. I don't want to waste it, so I just inserted some stock footage of nuclear film explosion, which still has like the watermark on the bottom, which was even worse. And then it ends to me like, huh, they killed each other and blew up, so now I get the Fiber One bar.
I know. I literally that I wanted to die watching that part. I was like, that was awful. Like, and
So
I when I started it too, I was like, is this Breakfast Brawl? Like, I was confused. But yeah, yeah, that one's definitely F tier for sure. That one, that was a hard watch. So that was not good.
So now our next one is an instant classic and something that, believe it or not, actually, this one, even though it's a staple of Darth Momo, it was actually a Nick Robidoux idea at Nuclear Films who started this. We're
Okay.
going to talk about the Adventures of Darth Momo #1, which is available on both Darth Momo and Jaw movies.
Do you want me to start it?
Go for it.
1.5 out of 10.
Oh!
Oh, okay. Is this even a short? Like, isn't even considered a short. Like, that's why I put it so low
I think the
because
runtime was longer before I sped it up.
it's literally. How long is the video? Like 10
I think
seconds?
it's 48 seconds.
It felt like 10 seconds. Like,
Well, the intro was like 7 seconds.
you guys literally fought in a really cringy, sped up fight scene, and then you die, and that's it. That's the whole video. Like, I put not even a short. It was 2 seconds long. That are my those are my notes. I put it so low is because like there was just nothing to it. It was just a fight scene. Like I don't even know who the characters are. Like it was just like, how is this even considered a short? You know what I mean? Like I'm just ripping it apart, but I'm just being honest.
In that regard, actually, you know what? It's interesting too to think about that because like we just kind of spawned it as literally like fight scene, and then as time went on, like I actually like tried to do something and make a story with Momo. So it's like looking back on it now, you could clearly like form some sort of character of Momo looking back on it. But it's funny that you say that because you're right. Like it's literally just, oh, here's Darth Momo. Like, is this supposed to be some like actual like in real life, like here's the YouTuber Darth Momo, or is this supposed to be like a Star Wars character?
Yeah,
But
no, it
I
yeah.
actually gave it a higher score than you did on this one. I actually gave it a 4 out of 10.
A
So
4?
one thing I loved about like Darth Momo, and this was something that like I don't know, Nick and I like we kind of like were sometimes at odds with about Momo about like the direction of the series. I tried to make it more story driven, and Nick thought they should just be random one off shorts. And I felt like as much as I hated to admit it, when we leaned more in what Nick kind of envisioned for the series, I thought it was actually a lot more rewatchable. And like out of all shoot 18 Momo videos that were made. I feel like this is one of the more rewatchable ones, in my opinion. And so it's short and sweet and to the point. And I actually, and clearly we're already at disagreements on this, but I actually thought this fight looks decent sped up. Like, I could watch Breakfast Brawl where we sped up the fight, which obviously we'll talk about that later, and you could tell, like, it's obvious and it looks bad sped up. But, like, this I thought ended up coming out decent for being sped up. And I also thought it's just like unintentionally kind of funny. Like when Yak's like with the lightsaber and we try to do like the freeze frame to change the lightsaber, it just cuts to him being like,
I'll give you that. I mean, I think 4 is a lot, but like I could definitely see like a 2 or a 3, for just like unironically being funny.
at least
Like,
we don't have to compromise on this one because 4 and 1 are both still in F tiers.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty much F tier. Yeah, they're all F tier so far.
I feel like that's gonna be a recurring theme with these videos.
Yeah.
um, so our next one we're gonna talk about is actually Jedi Hunted, a Galaxy War story. 2015, currently streaming on Jaw Movies.
Streaming is crazy. Oh God. Okay. Am I starting this one too?
Yep.
Okay, this one is a 2.5 out of 10. Um, this one, so the Galaxy Wars are bad, but like they're watchable bad. Like I gave them a low score because of just the production and everything. This one was just like hard to watch. Like I genuinely just like didn't want to watch this one. Like it was just so cringy and like it's funny too because
Oh, hang on, I lost you. Oh, are you back?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was saying like it's crazy because I feel like the first Galaxy War was done better than this one in production wise. Like in this one, I mean, you can hear your grandma talking. You
Yeah.
like all the shots are just like randomly put together, and like it's just so weird. And your actors are looking at the camera again. I don't know. It didn't flow that good. At least with the first Galaxy War, like it flowed pretty well.
Yeah.
This one, not only did it not flow well, but it was just so incredibly hard to watch because you just kept screaming and it was so cringy. And then your grandma, and then just like the long fight scene. Like there was just a fight scene that kept going, and I'm like, please stop. Just something happened.
So
Um,
this one, oh, sorry, were you done or?
no, I'm done. Yeah, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I was gonna say I actually gave the same ranking, but I feel like I had a more like positive opinion of it. If that makes sense. Like I gave it 2.5 out of 10. I thought that crawl was awful. The opening crawl, like the Galaxy War crawl, like I actually thought was kind of cool upon rewatch. But
Oh
this
yeah, you're
crawl
like,
was awful. Like I narrated to try to like differentiate it from um Galaxy War, like because it's a spinoff, but like the crawl narration was off from the actual like video, and that was just awful.
yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, Star Wars crawls are never read out loud? Like,
Um I thought the acting, yeah, the acting was pretty cringy. Um I actually thought the fight was like came out good so far because like every other fight in these videos that we're going to talk about today were like pretty much just like get out there and do it. Like Galaxy War 1 was obviously like I was just like, "Hey, these are the certain notes I want you to hit at the certain times." And then like Galaxy War 2 we'll get to in a minute, but like that was pretty much just a free for all whereas like we tried to kind of choreograph this one and I feel like because of it it came out a little better.
yeah.
And then I kind of like the ending too, where like the guy shows up like all defeated and he's like, I failed, and she's just like, okay, stab. And I don't know, I kind of like that.
It's definitely it's funny. It's funny to laugh at. But I was just glad it was over. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't really have much good to say about this one. Like the other ones I have like some, you know, quality things to say, like some pros, but for some reason this one I just there was really nothing I could take away that was kind of I mean, I like the fact that it wasn't shot in a different place because all your videos are shot in
Yeah.
the same place. So I'll give it that. I'll give it that it was shot somewhere else. But yeah, that's pretty much
And I think like so like my grandma in the background, yeah, that was difficult, but I'm like I didn't want to like upset my grandma and be like, hey, could you like be quiet? So like I kind of just had to like roll with it. And then on top of that too, like but one thing I did like was this was the first time I tried working with like different shots as opposed to one scene or one shot scenes.
Okay, that makes sense because I could tell like why is this film so weird? Like where are all these random shots? I guess I can respect you for trying something new. I didn't know that. I
Mm.
just thought it was just randomly all over the place for no reason. So
So F tier. Did
yeah, once again, F tier.
you like my little poster I made on that one?
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like that one.
So the next one we're gonna talk about is The Gun War, streaming on Jaw Movies. I gotta stop saying streaming. And this one was a 2015 production. So go ahead, take it away on this one.
Production.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This was the last one I watched, and I didn't even rank it. It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm sorry. I'm being honest, and trust me, when my videos come up, I'm gonna be brutally honest too. I'm not being biased because I'm excited to take a shot at my own videos. So just so
I feel
you know.
like if anything with your videos, I'm gonna end up being more positive with your videos than yours, and then likewise, like I'm well, actually I don't know because I've been like more negative on these ones than you were.
No, I'm gonna be pretty harsh in my videos. I'm gonna try to at least. Like I'm trying not to be biased. But this one, like this one was not even a film. Like this goes like with the Darth Momo for me. Like it genuinely felt like I was watching a bunch of like what middle schoolers just like play with bikes.
Elementary kids.
Yeah, it was just like you literally hung out with your brother and sister one day and you were like, "Let me record them playing in the street." Like that's what it feels like. There was no story. It was so bad, cringe. It was cringy. It made no sense and I just wanted to die. Like I was just like, "Please turn this off." I didn't even write a review or rank it. I guess I forgot.
So I actually gave this one a 1.5. Um, this one, like, this was an interesting rewatch for me because I thought higher of this one initially. Like, I knew it was kind of a little cringe. Obviously, like, we're playing with the kids, but like, I kind of like the basic concept. And so like, there was a little bit of like Breakfast Brawl parallel with the whole like sizing up thing with the guns. Um, but the rest of that was like I kind of like came up with that on the spot, and I remember thinking, I'm like, well, this is kind of like my first like real original video that isn't like Star Wars or taking a nuclear films concept, and I was kind of excited to revisit this, and yeah, I gave it a 1.5 out of 10. It's bad. Like the Nerf guns just kill the tone of it. Like it's one thing if we were like using like Nerf guns, but then like I put like special effects muzzle flashes on it, but like they're shooting Nerf bullets at each other.
Yeah, it's
And
so cringe.
yeah, and then like the little kid's supposed to be like the cop, and yeah, I so my notes for this, I said I actually really like the premise of this, and I'll stand by that. Like I like the basic premise of this. Like if this was something we took the premise of and made in 2017 with like our group, I feel like it would have come out a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Nerf guns, the kids, it's just and unfortunately, yeah, bad.
I'd probably give you the same score because I mean at least you guys all had fun. It seemed like you guys put some effort into it. So I'll give it some credit. I'll probably give you the same score too, but definitely F tier.
Yeah. So the next one, now we get to revisit the Galaxy War franchise in Galaxy War 2 Evolutions. Currently on currently on Jaw Movies. This was a
Okay,
2015 production. Take it away.
so I was actually kind of surprised by this one. I was expecting like the same level as Galaxy War One. Um, it was slightly better. Like it genuinely was kind of slightly better. Like I enjoyed the story. I noticed that the production was a lot better in in the terms of the first one. I mean, still it was obviously so like still really bad, but in terms of the first one, it was a lot better. Um, um, it was still bad, obviously. Like it was not a good video, but I do respect it a lot because it showed that you guys were improving. And I liked, even though it was a playground, I liked that you guys went somewhere else besides your house. Like you actually, tried to. The thing that's cool about these old videos is that we have a lot of creativity. So
Mm,
when I sit down and watch these videos, to me it's like, okay, here's a bunch of kids that are believing this playground is like a different Star Wars planet. Like it's silly to anyone, but to me, I enjoyed it because it's like I know what they were trying to do, and it's a different, setting, so I respect it. So I originally gave it a 3.5, but I might bump it up to like a 3.8 because now that I think about it, like I respect it, and I respect the story too, because I like the idea of well, first of all, that bar scene with your dad. Um, wait, give me one second. Give me one
yeah,
second.
technical difficulties.
Give me one second. Um, that bar scene with your dad was really good,
Yeah.
and I like the idea of this like dude coming out of nowhere and taking all the stuff of that other guy, and that was funny. That was funny. So yeah, I respect it a little bit. But unfortunately, by our ranking system, it still goes in F tier, I guess. But go ahead, go ahead and tell me what you
So
think.
actually was harsher on it. I gave it a 2.5.
Really?
So this one actually surprised me. Another surprise on rewatch because like this was one like when I was first making it and like editing it, like I was really proud of. Like Galaxy War 1, like, I really didn't like it to the point where I actually tried to remake it. We didn't finish, but we reshot a lot of that. But because we didn't finish, we kind of just like, and we didn't have a lot of the props from refinish or that reattempt. We rolled with basically what we had in the first one. And it was basically, we went up to Prescott and Carson was like, we should make another one. I was like, well, we got all the props. Screw it. Let's do it. And we shot the first half of it, right? And that next morning I was reviewing the footage and I'm like, we only have 10 minutes. I'm like, we need to go like add on to this and like make some more to the story because the first one was 20 something minutes. So that's when I came up with the concept of the whole bounty hunter, which I actually kind of like in retrospective. Or in retrospect, I like that idea of like, hey, you know what? We got to catch the Jedi. Let's put a bounty on him, and it adds like more obstacles. And there's still more to that too in the next one. But I thought the fights were like kind of drawn out. I thought the
Yeah.
pacing was a little bad. Like I felt like Galaxy War 1 flowed a lot better and had better pacing than this one did. Um, what else did I
Yeah.
have in my notes? The
The fight
crawl
scenes are
also likewise with the crawl. I thought the crawl was pretty promising too. A really cool premise.
yeah, I think the fight scenes are definitely way too drawn out and really boring.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And that was
I
pretty
agree with
much an
you.
example of like at least the first time we were trying to fit it to the music on set. This time was pretty much just like free for all and just like, hey, have at it. And that's part of like why the bounty hunter fight, like at first I thought it was a plus, but I think in retrospect it's really was a negative because at first it was like Kyle and I were just having a fight scene. And like I was like legitimately trying to run for him from him because in his mind he was trying to like kill me. And we had to actually that's why the whole thing is one shot except for the very last part of it because he like comes up to me and I'm like, you wouldn't kill an unarmed man, and he goes, maybe I wouldn't, and then he just like tries to lop my head off, and I'm like, no, 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 cut. I'm like, redo that. I'm like, don't kill me.
That's
What else
funny.
did I have in here though? Dialogue. I did definitely think overall the camera quality was better. The story I liked more because we're not just like we actually try to tell an original story. And I really like
Yeah,
like I like the fact that like we go in with four main characters and two of them die. Like I actually really like that premise.
I do too. That's why I gave it a little bit higher because, like I said, the story was pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like I think you guys definitely realized, like, wait a minute, we probably shouldn't make Revenge of the Sith. Like, we
Yeah,
should probably do our own thing, and I'll give props for being a little original. Like, it is kind of crazy to kill off two of your people, and then in the same video have some random dude take the items of one of those people killed. Like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
And I really like, especially when I was rewatching it too, I really liked the setup at the end because like I won't go into
Oh
too
yeah,
much detail because you haven't seen the third one yet, so you don't know where this is going. But basically the premise is, at the end, Oponus, who you thought was like the real like the Palpatine of these videos, like goes in and reports to some like guy that I played. So you're like, who is this? Is this Master Palmer, but then did he die? Like I thought he died, but is this him? But or is
yeah,
this like the bounty hunter? Probably not. Or is this some new character? And I really like
yeah.
what that promises. So at this point in time, we didn't really have the future of Galaxy War mapped out, and we were kind of just like making it right. And I came up with this plot twist basically as a way to like I thought it'd be cool, and then that way like Kyle wasn't a part of that scene, so when he was watching it, he'd be like, "What?" And it was just something Grayson and I knew about. I really like that idea of like actors not knowing the plot twist coming.
Yeah.
And what I set up, so like when I started writing the next one, like I actually wrote a script for that in advance, and then I planned out the next couple after that, and this really started to put the story into perspective. And so I really actually like where that setup, how it exists, and where it goes.
I will say I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the ending cliffhanger is really cool. I didn't realize Kyle didn't know about it. We'll talk about this later when we get to the Indiana Jones videos, but I'll just say it now too. Like I actually did that too to Crit to Yackerson.
Mhm.
I shot an ending sequence for the third Indiana Jones that he had no idea about, and it was a little like reference to the other ones. So
Okay.
that's really cool that you did that too. I like that. So yeah, again, that's why I made it a
I
little bit
look forward
higher.
to talking about that. And the other
Yeah.
last thing too, I'll say about this real quick, because you hit on it. Yeah, that bar scene is phenomenal. Like Charlie's actually, I know we've talked a little bit about Charlie before, but Charlie's worked on sets with movies as an extra. he helps with just like with crew with driving people around, but he's also been like an extra. So he's got some sort of like industry experience. I know you tried to get him onto your podcast or thought about it, and so that was actually like I thought that elevated that scene and brought just a
Yeah.
whole different gravitas to that scene as opposed to really the entire Galaxy War saga. Just that finer acting that he brought to that.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was good. That was like the only scene I genuinely like thought was pretty good. Like
Like I
I
would
mean,
actually like that scene alone. I would probably put that in like a C or maybe even a B if that
yeah,
was
just for that scene,
that
I
scene
agree.
alone.
I
Which it's
agree.
crazy to think about that, isn't it? How you could just like see one scene in something and be like, that was amazing, and then everything else was like
Yeah.
kind
It
of
just
bad. But that's what we
it's
call
all
the
it's
rise of Skywalker.
oh, that's not even canon, but all right, so let's put that sucker in F tier, and we got two more, right?
Yep. So the next one we're gonna talk is the attack on blank page loans,
Yes, I
which
was excited for this
this
one.
one is actually on Nuclear Films, Darth Momo, and maybe John Movies. I don't remember off the top of my head. I only really actually counted it as a short because I put it on the DVDs I made because Yackerson had it on his channel. I just had it as we did a whole like series of just like screwing around with phone apps videos, but Yackerson kind of like counted this as like a sketch. And I'm like, well, you know what? What the heck? So
Look,
take it away. This was a 2015 production.
I'm excited to talk about this one because it's the only one that's going in D tier. This one is a certified banger in regards to how dumb and funny it is. Like I actually bursted out laughing watching this. It to me, it's like at this point, it's like yes, I can judge it by as like a film and production wise, but to me, like I gave it a 6 out of 10 just because it's one of the. It's like the. Have you heard of the movie? What's that movie? Oh shoot, I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like a bad like a really bad movie that it's good in a way.
I
You
know
know
what
what I
you're
mean?
talking about. I don't know what movie, obviously, but I know what you're kind of talking about, getting at.
Like it's so bad that it's kind of good. Like so, I put it at a 6 out of 10 because it
Like the
was
Cat
just
in the
so
Hat.
funny. No, no, no. It's like it's called like the door, not the doors, but like something
But I
weird.
mean, like that's an example of that. I'm guessing, right? 'Cause I know you
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
too
yeah. I see what
highly
you're
of that.
saying. Yeah, the cat in the hat is like a really bad movie, but it's also like really good. So like yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, no, I would put this in D tier. I don't know what you gave it, but for me it's a D tier because it's just so like you anyone if you want to show this to literally anyone, like I'm sure they would watch it. Like they would actually sit down and watch it because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it'll give you a good laugh. So yeah.
So actually, like I thought about a D tier, and I ended up going 5 out of 10. But I've still been on the fence, and I was gonna make the pitch to you actually that maybe it should go in D tier. But now that you actually wholeheartedly agree with that, I'm gonna agree. I think we'll put that one in D tier. I gave it. I'm gonna 6 out of 10. Just because like the notes I have here is just the CGI looks kind of nice, but it's just so unintentionally like funny, like in a
Yeah.
good way. Like we
Oh,
shot this on. Oh, go ahead.
no, no, I remember the movie. Have you heard the movie The Room?
No, I don't think so. I'll have to
Okay, well,
check it out.
The Room is like a movie that is so bad that it's good. Like it got popular for being bad.
I gotcha.
So
So
anyway, go and continue. I cut
yeah,
you
like
off.
we were walking home from school, and I made a statement to Yak. I'm like, "Oh, we should try and film this," because I was showing him the app and a test video with it, and I gave him my because I had to hold the video right, so I gave him my like poster board thing for class, and it was blank because I brought it home and I was gonna work on it for class, so I'm just like, "Go," and he's like, hello, this is blank page loans."
What does that even mean?
So no. That's why, like, he's literally in the middle of it, and he's like, "Should we do that again?" And then,
I know. I know. Should we do that again?
and it was funny
Oh,
too, because that was back when his hair was just like he wouldn't get a haircut, and his hair just looked awful. So, like, it's even funnier too because of that.
it's so long. Like his hair's so long. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
Robin and I like talked to him for like a year about getting a haircut. It was funny.
yeah. Those old videos, you can see how long his hair is. It's crazy. Yeah,
So,
I think honestly, ladies and gentlemen, That's the only one that's not gonna be in F
Yeah,
tier
I
in this
agree.
video. I hope I know for a fact there's gonna be some S tiers later down the line,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be very rare because we didn't really
About
make them.
2016, but I already know one for 2017 that I want to put in S tier off the top of my head. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know we'll have a couple, at least in 2017 if we don't next video, but I'm pretty sure next time around we'll easily have some B's and A's.
Yeah, I hope we have a lot of B's and A's because this video is just all F's.
Yeah. Um, and the other thing too, I was gonna say about the Adventures of Momo before I forget, because that's the next one we're gonna talk about, is these were actually the only videos on this list that were produced with Nuclear Films, that and Blank Page Loans. The rest were all me, but because yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, this was before we started working with you. So
Yeah.
Yak, Robidoo, and I worked together on some of these, and then some of these I just did on my own. So
Yeah.
um yeah, the next one we're going to talk about, and the last one we'll talk about, is the Adventures of Darth Momo 2. This was a 2015 production and is currently available on Darth Momo and Jaw Movie. So take it away.
Yeah, this one's a 3 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not awful. Like, it's not like Jedi Hunted or Fire One Bar or The Gun War. Like, I can watch it. Honestly, I mean, I put short and sweet, easier to watch, simple, not terrible production. That's what I put. But honestly, the easiest thing to say is it's just kind of meh. Like, it just exists.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really add that much. Obviously, all these videos are going to be in F tier because they have basically no production and there's
Mhm.
just like two people with a camera. You know what I mean? Like out of the bat or out of the gate, they're always going to be pretty low. But this one I put a 3 just because not only for that, but it's just simple. Like it's not like you know I don't even know what else to say. It just exists. Like yeah.
So I actually gave this one a 4 out of 10. And I
Okay.
was surprised too upon rewatching this, because I remember thinking this one was just like one of the momos that was kind of boring. So I watched it and I'm like, well, this is actually a lot more rewatchable than I thought. Um, yeah, I think it has a decent premise. The fight is still kind of weak. Um, and I would actually almost say I think the fight came out better in the first one than the second one. Just I don't know, just because like the speed up kind of gave a like a speed to that. Like it gave
Yeah.
a quickness to it, whereas this was just kind of like uh, uh. I mean, we're still using Nerf guns. I mean, of course, plastic lightsabers, like those are obviously going to be things that take them down. But yeah, overall, I thought the premise was decent, and yeah, I would agree. It was actually kind of I don't want to say short and sweet, but it was a decently short video.
Yeah.
It didn't
I
overstay its welcome, I think is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I think, obviously there's so many Darth Momos, so like out of all of them, it's probably gonna be forgotten. And
Yeah.
it does belong in F tier anyway. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I should say some nice things about it because you said some nice things. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the setting. That was one of the things I was gonna say is the setting. Like I like that when you guys, because again, just two kids with a camera. Like this is 2014, 2015. Like there's no money involved. I
Mhm.
like when you guys actually take the opportunity when you see it, like and film somewhere new. Like
Mhm.
that shows good traits. Because like if you were just an amateur filmmaker and you didn't know anything about it and you just shot in the same place all the time and you didn't take the opportunities when you see it, then yeah, I would call you out on that. But you guys actually went to somewhere new and you were like, let's do a film out here. Like it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I respect it for being in a different place, like a foresty kind of place. So yeah,
And that's like, so this is kind of where like, because Nick Robinou didn't really care about this at this time because Yak still wasn't allowed to be on YouTube. So we didn't really know if this was going to go anywhere or do anything. So Robinou could not care less. So this was kind of like, I was kind of, Yak wanted to make another one and I kind of did too. So this was kind of like me in charge, and I was attempting to like really, this was like the start of the formation of Darth Momo, because like I said, to Nick, these were just one-off shorts. These were just meant to be like each was a random one-off, and that was why it was fun. You didn't know if Momo was going to win or not, but we threw in that line of like, oh, it would appear Darth Momo survived. So you can kind of see this the formation of like trying to turn Darth Momo into a storyline, for good or for
yeah.
worse. Well, we'll get to that in 2020 when we watch the last Momo, but
2020.
so we filmed most of them over the course of 15 to 17, and then And 17 was when I filmed the last one, and I wanted to make one final one, like it was set up for it, and I never ended up getting to it. That was when I started to move beyond like YouTube and videos and all that. And then in 2020 I finished the My Lego Clone War, the prequel to the My Lego Rebel Life, and I was really happy with that. I was like, this is awesome. I'd been thinking of doing this prequel for a while, and I was really happy with how it came out. And I'm like, you know what? It felt good to finish that. Maybe it's time we finish Momo. And obviously, I completely scrapped all my original plans. I just kind of like, and we'll talk more about that when we get to it. But yeah, 2020 was when the last Momo came out.
That's actually crazy.
The other thing too
Well,
is I forgot, like, we'll actually, I think we are talking about doing, after we talk about all the videos, we'll do like a ranking. Like, we'll rank all our Batmans, like, worst
Yeah.
to best. We'll rank our Indy Jones, we'll rank Galaxy War, Momo, we'll rank the Rodderverse. So I think that will be
And I
kind of fun.
and I think too, we should do a video where we rank like our franchises. Like what's the worst franchise? Like
Okay.
we did Batman, we did Indiana Jones, we did Rodder. Like what's the worst franchise and the best franchise that we did?
It's this sucker right here.
Ah, just kidding.
So yeah, we're
Well,
gonna, before I forget, we'll put that in F tier.
and that is our tier list completed.
Yep.
That's crazy. Our first video done. This is awesome. I'm excited to do more. Like, I know next week is 2016.
Yep, and we're gonna have, like, if you thought this was a lot, guys, like, we're gonna probably do triple the amount of videos that we did in this one.
Oh my
Because
god,
2016, what?
we might have to do 2 parts for 2016. I'm looking at it right now. There is so many
I
videos.
know.
Oh my gosh.
We can always, as we're filming, we could keep an eye on the time too. Um, so we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll break it up, guys. Maybe not. But yeah, 2016. So we did a few. Yak and Robidoo and I did a few throughout 2016. But April of 2016 is when all our channels kind of came together and were created
Hmm.
and started working together. So it bloomed, it blossomed. A lot of videos came out of 2016. A lot that I'm
I
excited to talk about, but yeah, a lot.
Yeah, we might have to like cut it in between like the first half of the year and the second half. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm looking at 2016 here and I see Batman 1.
Yeah,
That
that's gonna be a classic.
that's the starter right there. That's where everyone came together. But
Well,
all
guys,
right, well,
yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. This is, I don't know how many of you guys watching this have actually like been watching this from the inception or kind of came into either of our channels later on, but for those of you who are watching this, I hope this was fun to rewatch and kind of revisit. And for those of you who kind of came into our channel collaborations later on throughout the years, I hope this was a fun bit of history for you guys. So we're gonna keep
yeah,
rolling with this, and I think we're talking about maybe trying to do these once a week is the schedule we're gonna try to stick
yeah,
to. Um,
yeah,
Again, it just depends on how life happens, but I think once a week should probably be doable. It's like I said, I mean, we don't
yeah,
have a lot of, like, the videos are mostly short. Maybe looking at what, a couple hours to rewatch everything we need to rewatch, and then what, an hour or two to film this, so it should be doable.
yeah. No, we'll get it done, but it's gonna be fun.
But all right, well, thank you guys for joining in. Darth Momo and Double O Studios out.